Hey everyone, welcome to the Exercising Show. Welcome to the stream, everyone. So I'm trying to do a bunch of different little things here and there. Slowly trying to get the stream a little bit different, a little bit unique. I don't know if you logged in. I know Vibes makes games. Checked me out a few hours ago, and some hours ago. So what's going on? I'm allowing the stream to run for 24 hours with just chat. So you could chat with me here on Twitch, or you could chat with each other and that kind of thing in stream. So if the stream turns into a 24-hour stream, I think that'll be a pretty cool thing. I have different ideas about what happens during those 24 hours, but we'll see how it goes, But for now, I'll just leave the chat up running, and we have view attacks and stuff, and we have announcements, and there's a voice to there's text to voice and all these different things, and even though you see the stream up, I'm a person that I will definitely come into the stream and just chat with anybody that's on here. So it's something new. Please partake in it, that kind of thing. Let me know if you have any ideas about how we could spice that up. I would love for this channel to be 24 hours. I think it would be pretty cool. So I have different ideas, as I said, maybe playing some tutorials, repeating some key segments of the stream, because I've streamed over a year, so there's a year's worth of things that we could probably condense and just have them on repeat while people chat and that kind of thing. But who knows, and then you have music and all kinds of different things like that. So hey, I'm trying to spice up the channel a little bit here, that kind of thing. Watch out for merch in the future, something like that. Okay, so today on the stream, definitely, I'm just gonna leave up the sculpting, drawing, and chat, because that's kind of essentially what what I like to do. Sculpting, drawing, or 3D modeling, chat, and I'll chat with you guys and that kind of thing. Maybe chat is obvious, so maybe I should put the game dev or something like that. So maybe chat is too obvious. So let's go change that little thing up there real quick here in the topic. So I'll put instead of chat, I'll put game dev. Yeah, so if you want to be part of the community, let me know what's going on. Join our Discord. There's a bunch of great people on there, and on the Discord you could actually, in the open chat, there's a thing that I put there for voting, so you could vote, and you could vote like what you would like to see on this channel and that kind of thing. All right, so let's jump into some sculpting. So I kind of hinted at some sculpting in the last video. Right, in the last video, we did a bunch of stuff, and coming down to the end, I broke out this sphere, and it was red, and I started sculpting this guy. And the reason why I'm doing that, I'm not showing so much of the game development of Soul 3000 like I did before, is because I think, like, right now it's kind of in the air of what it is. A lot of people would not know what Soul 3000 is about, because certain things hasn't officially been released yet on that. So I will probably work on that behind the scenes, and in this stream for now I might do a little bit here and there on it, and I'll certainly announce that when I'm doing stuff on Soul 3000. But other than that, we could do like warm-ups, right? So we could do sculpting warm-ups, we could do tutorials, we could just have fun right here on the stream. And I think that's going to be a little more cohesive. You're going to understand what you see a little bit better, because I'm going to be sculpting like a person, a head, or we're going to be modeling some kind of vehicle or anything like that, or doing a rough game design level, something like that, and that then I'll probably tag the stream as being part of Soul 3000. Okay guys, so without further ado, we're going to jump in. Right now I'm going to definitely be doing some sculpting here. So that's what we're gonna do. What would be a pretty even cooler idea is if there's like some kind of thing that occludes what's going on here. But anyways, excuse me, I'm not making any sense. You see the text to the top right of the screen? It says sculpting, drawing, and game dev. Maybe whatever I'm doing is it's highlighted, right? So if I'm doing sculpting, that's highlighted. If I'm doing game dev, that's highlighted. So I think that might be a kind of cool thing to do. So let me see if I could make something like that here real quick. Nothing like doing things on the fly, right? Right, guys? Right? I had a pretty pretty interesting couple of days. It was a little rough, but we're here now, and we're gonna make the most of hanging out with each other, right? Okay, let's see if I can get us going. So right now we're gonna be doing sculpting. Yeah, so the drawing looks secluded. That's what I was thinking. Okay, give me a second here, guys. Let me just do some stuff. We're gonna jump straight into sculpting in Blender. Now, that's the next thing. In the poll, I have 3D code sculpting, Blender modeling, drawing and painting, reactions, music making. So, be sure to jump in the Discord and choose what you would like to see here on this channel. Okay, I'm just making this highlight here a little bit better. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. Okay, that's a little bit better. So we know we're doing sculpting for sure. Okay guys, so we're doing sculpting. Let's jump right into it without further ado. Welcome to the show, let's go! I just want to show you guys the Discord poll. So right, if you come to Exercise Nick Discord, you can see the link right there. Is Exercise Nick 3000 in Discord. And if you come in here and you go to our open chat right there, you'll see you could get to choose what you want to see on the channel. So you could pick multiple things. So I'm just gonna choose these two for me. I want to do more 3D code sculpting, and I want to do more drawing and painting. So I'm gonna vote for that. Right. There you go. All right, so let's jump into Blender. So I've been playing around with Blender sculpting. To be honest with you guys, sculpting in Blender is not bad. I think 3D code is a lot more powerful, and maybe that's what we do. Maybe we do sculpting in 3D code. But I want to show you guys what Blender is capable of right here. So this is me throwing on like a rough kind of low poly head. It's always recommended, like most people that most really good sculptors out there, they always tell you, hey, just make sure and keep everything as low poly as you can, as simple as you can, and just start working on it a piece at a time. So I kind of like that. So I spent some time here in Blender working on the brushes for sculpting in here. And the reason why the only reason why I'm sculpting in Blender is because so many people out there, a lot of people who probably watch me, you have access to Blender. Other than that, I probably prefer doing it in 3D code. So based upon whatever they choose there in in the Discord, if they choose to do some 3D code and that kind of thing, I'll gladly do that, because I think 3D code is a really nice program. You could check it out for free for a trial and that kind of thing. And if you want to buy it, it's pretty cheap. It's cheaper than buying ZBrush. And there's a lot of ZBrush tutorials and stuff out there. But I think 3D code is a lot more powerful. But anyways, I was just sculpting this from memory, right? So it's good to you know, when you start sculpting, at least what I think, when you start sculpting, sculpt from memory. It helps, you know, it helps you kind of practice, you know, practice in memory, you know. Practice, you know, how to remember things. Keeping things low poly is good also. Alright. I mean, look at his mouth. It's a mess, right? Because there's not enough polygons. I'm gonna remesh this guy. Let's do something like that, and then hit remesh. Alright, kind of solidifies face some more. So definitely Blender is a slightly different it is a different approach to working in Blender. Let's use a clay. So I'll show you the tool that I made in Blender here that I really like. So if we come here and flatten, and I'll try to make this available out there on the Discord once I start to get the tools gathered up. Actually it's in scrape. So if I come here, see it has I did a nick scrape, and what that does is like make really flat angles like this. And it makes really flatten. Let's just use a regular scrape. So I think that's kind of cool. I like that brush. It will probably come in handy for like some hard surface modeling. Okay, so this is a special thing that we're gonna do with this with sculpting. I'm gonna show you guys. Check this out. I'm gonna jump into my drive here. Okay, so under Blender Sculpt, let's just close this for a minute. I want to rename it. Save. All right, I'm gonna put a little underscore on that. You know what? Let's just do this. Sculpting Blender. That's what we're gonna call the folder. Ugh. I'm all thumbs, guys. Hold on here. Just gotta rename this folder real quick. Okay. Okay, there we go. Sculpting underscore Blender. Okay, there we go. Now, I even have a sculpt test folder. I was testing some stuff here. Let's get rid of that. I have a learning Blender animation zip. I'm gonna get rid of that too. Let's kind of clean things up. Okay, so if we jump in, this is all the tutorials we actually did here on the stream. We did a 3D building, a 3D code creature, right? We did 3D text, a bottle. We did car sculpt, and we colored some coloring comics. You know, I tried to color, which is what you're seeing. You know, which is the wallpaper that you see on the stream. We did a cucumber drawing, figures. Yeah, so we did some drawing in here. Let's see what these drawings are. Okay, I definitely did some drawing here. Yep. Right, we did learning Blender animation, modeling. What's that one? Panel cuts. Okay, so maybe this was like a tutorial on how to do panel cuts and that kind of thing. It's pretty interesting. Let's see what else we had in here. Noobs objects. Oh, wait a minute. I did like a whole thing here. Let's go in here and take a look at this. Oh, I did a bunch of grapes. That's interesting. In Blender. Onion garlic. I remember the oranges was a drawing. This right here, guys. We did rocks, that's right, as a tutorial, and now we're on to sculpting in Blender. Okay, so this is going to be the fun part right here. Let me show you guys. I collected a bunch of reference images of famous people. You know who this guy is? This is T.I. the rapper. There's a lot of black and white images. Look at this lady. So I'm thinking that we're going to start using this reference, looking at it. Somebody, I think this almost looks like a pencil sketch. You know, it looks really nice. So if we start by being able to look at this stuff and sculpt according to what we see, you understand, I think that would be a kind of nice practice. Now, I'm not too much into photorealism, but it's good to probably use it for practice. So I look for a lot of interesting photos. A lot of women. There's a few guys. This is Billie Eilish, right? Look at this. Look at this model here. She's very pretty. Look how pretty she looks. All right. Another one right here. This would be pretty cool things to try to sculpt, right? Drake. You know why I put Drake in here, guys? Can remember we used to have Drake clapping, like a little meme thing. So yeah, I put him in there. You have Daniel Craig, the James Bond guy. So I was looking for interesting images. This girl almost looks like my sister Lori. And this is McElroy or whatever his name is. Pretty interesting. This young person here is Malike Kirby. Pretty interesting, simplified face. Of course, T.I., right? The rubber band man. Okay, guys. So so let's go and so this is what we're going to be doing. So as we go through some of this stuff, I'll provide the files on the Discord so you guys could follow along. So let's jump into the base file. Jump into sculpt. Oh, okay, so remember I changed it. Open. Okay, sculpt Blender, sculpt. Okay, so right now I'm using the Blender 3 point whatever it is, but most of you out there, if you're using Blender, you're going to use the new one. So let's use the newest Blender and let's start from scratch and let's pick someone to let's pick like, you know, a famous face to do. Alright, we're going to pick one of these faces. Now if you're out there, this will be a good poll to have. Which face would you like to sculpt? Let me know. You know, right now in the chat. Go in the chat and say, hey, Exercise Nick, I want you know, let's give this stuff a name. Let's call him T.I. Alright. Let's give this stuff a name. Call this model 1. Or how about woman 1? I don't know who these people are. Woman 2. Call this Billie Eilish. Let's call this model 3. Model 4. Let's call this Drake. Let's call it Daniel Craig. I think that's his name. Daniel Craig. Model, what's this, model 5 maybe? Okay. What's this guy? Mark Markovoy? I can't remember. Let's see his name. Is it Mark Markovoy? That's not his name. Come on, guys. uh, Where's Mac? I don't know. McAvoy. I don't know. Like, he started in the Beast. No, wait a minute. Yeah, like, he was like a bad guy or something like that. Yeah. Seen the Mark of the Beast. Yeah. I don't really follow celebrities, but I remember. Can someone help me out there? I don't know who this is. Uh, is it Mark? Oh, wait a minute. I saw something there. Ah, hey, can someone out there help me at some point? I forgot who this actor is, man. Like, it's kind of embarrassing, but you know we don't all have to know who these people are. Let's call this model 6. Okay. All right. So take your pick. Who do you want? Who do you want to model? Who would you like? We gotta pick somebody. I have a feeling like I want to do Ti or something. Well, let's pick this girl right here, woman 2. It's very interesting. You know the face. We don't see much of the ear, so we're gonna have to kind of try to make that as we go. You know the shape of her face. It's all about getting shapes and that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have Blender. I think it's 4.2. Let's make sure this is the newest one. Help about Blender. Yep, Blender 4.02. Let's see what's the newest one. Okay, then 4.4.1. So let's go ahead and download that. Okay, let's go ahead and install this newest Blender. Let's go to this Blender here. Okay, so we're gonna do this lady. Her face is really interesting. Okay, we just downloaded the newest Blender. Let's just fire that up. Load Blender 4.0 settings. Okay, so we have the newest settings in here. Let's go ahead and save this. Save startup file. Okay. Just gonna make a quick shortcut for this. Oh, this is 4.1? Okay, whatever. Let's double check and see what version of Blender. Yes, 4.1, okay. For a minute there, you know, okay, we got it. Launching thing. Put 3D design. Change the icon. Okay, so if I type Blender, whatever, that's fine. Let's launch it, guys. Okay, here we are. This is great. So let's load the sculpt in here. I want to show you guys something. Okay, so this is what we had. Right, so if we could take this thing and turn it into any sculpt, I think we'll be working with oil. Or we could start from scratch. Alright, so let's take a look at our model. I'm gonna go ahead and load up a PureF. Again, this was our model right here. Let's just grab her up. Alright, her features look pretty simple. And it's all about form. Technically, we should be able to take this image right here and turn it into an image like this. Right, and all it has to do with how you move the proportions around and that kind of thing. So let's start. Let's give it an angle. Now let's take our time and start adjusting this. One of the first tools I like to use is the move tool here. I'm gonna make this a little bit skinnier like so. You have to get an overall shape of the face, larger forehead, that kind of thing. Maybe easier just to do it from scratch, but let's try. So right now we're not concerned about too many things other than strictly the form of the face. Make the brush a little bit smaller. Let's save this, so now we're doing a new thing. Maybe it should have been saved as. Just Control Z this. Not that. Put it back in there. Okay. I'm gonna put this guy back the way he was before we updated anything. I'm gonna save. File. Save, and let's save as. This is model. This is a woman too. They're called a sculpt. Okay guys, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna allow you guys just to kind of watch this for a minute, and we're gonna see if we could augment this guy to get to that. I'll be right back guys. I gotta check something real quick. Okay, guys, I'm back. Hey, you know, thanks for hanging in there. You know, sorry for all the you know, the little bit of like waiting and hold on and be right back kind of thing. You know, I just got a lot of things happening here in real life, and you know, it's no big deal. It's all good. You know, but yeah, you know, let's continue on. So what we were doing, I saved a file. I saved a file with just this base kind of head thing that I kind of sculpted out of my mind, and I just was playing around with the tools at the time. And you know, we're gonna take this. You know, you should be able to take almost any mesh, take a cube, you know, and that kind of thing, and be able to sculpt something like this from scratch. And you know, definitely the other sculpts, you know, we'll probably do something like that from scratch. But I wanted to be able to take this almost as a lump of clay and move it around and see if we could get, you know, start sculpting the look, you know, sculpting this girl here. So let's see how we can do that here in Blender. Okay, so I want to use the move tool. I'm just gonna use the move tool to kind of get the proportions of her face. Right, I'm just gonna be zooming in and out just to kind of get things happening. Right, she doesn't. Her cheekbones is a lot higher. Of course, we don't have her actual profile. Her nose is a little bit different. Let's zoom into the nose here. And I'm just using a regular old move tool. Let's move her eyes down a bit. Let's zoom out a bit. Let's get a size of her face. I'm just using a regular move tool, guys. And her cheekbones are slightly angled up and down like that. We'll zoom into here. We could obviously add more detail to the character as we go. She has those almond-shaped eyes, right? Right, we're gonna keep the low resness of this. We're just gonna use it to our little advantage. I'm just hitting some smooth here so we can get a little more eye control. It'll look a little bit better. Alright. You can get smooth with any brush by holding shift and clicking. She has really high cheekbones. let's do with a. Let's do a little bit of the lips. We could. And notice that I'm just zooming in instead of making the brush smaller. She has a little bit more of a chin on her. She has like this kind of stroke going on here, so I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. Let's zoom in a bit here. Oops, my bad. With a lot of this stuff, you just kind of adjust as things look a certain way. And the human face is like really subtle, right? There's so many ways you could get it wrong, and a few ways you could get it right. Okay, you see that the kind of fugly guy that we had. Now kind of starting to look like a lady. This lady here in the picture. Just gonna soften that. She doesn't really have too much of that kind of thing happening. And this is just using the move tool, the move brush. And she have a chin thing going on, so you gotta get some of that. Some of that angled. Maybe a little bit much there. Another key, at least I realize, is that one of the other keys is to one of the other keys is to just take it a step at a time, small increments, and keep things as rough as you can down to the very end. Now, I think that, you know, maybe this could have been rougher. I think the rougher you could keep it while kind of hitting targets, the better result you'll have. I'm gonna make the brush size smaller now, because I want to see this from a distance. It's probably a little bit bigger, right? And we could do a whole thing on the eye. You could do a whole study about sculpting eyes and sculpting, even modeling. I think modeling, you have like slightly a little more controls. Well, she has a high forehead also. Just a more chiseled jaw. So we could go in with the sculpting tools and start and deal with that as we start to work on this person. And I'm just using the one brush, the move brush. Or rather, I call it the move brush, but it's actually called a grab brush in Blender. Just shifting, pushing and pulling things around. Alright, we're gonna go in and grab some distinguishing marks. Let's make this brush a little bit bigger. Let's try to give it a high forehead. And her ears is like really big and pinned back, and her whole head is like out of proportion, so let's make this brush a little bit bigger. Also bring down her eyes a little bit. Let's try to get a little bit more giant view of what this should look like. You know what? Some women's head without the hair looks kind of alien. Not all of them, but some of them look really odd without the hair. Some women, you know, with or without hair, they have a nicely shaped head, so like they still look pretty good even without hair. You know. Okay, see, I'm trying to get the slope of the face happening. Remember, we're just pushing and pulling. We want to bring that down. Get the ears. Right, so the ears actually has like a thing in human anatomy. I think the bottom of the ear is supposed to hit the lower part of the nose, and the top of the ear is supposed to hit the top of the eyebrows. So let's try to see if we could just grab this ear and move it up. This might be a little tricky, but we're gonna try it. A little bit at a time. Yeah, not too bad. Blender handled that. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's kind of pin back the ears a bit. Oh, maybe a little bit much there. I think, like, you know, different kinds of people have different kinds. Some women, you know, like if you consider like what is like a pretty girl or pretty woman, like they have like small ears, you know. But then you see some really pretty women with big ears, you know. Guys normally have like really big, kind of clumsy looking ears. Okay, so I'm doing kind of like the earlobe a little bit. Just kind of give the ear a little bit more form. I'm gonna bring this out a bit. Bring that out a bit. I like sculpting like this push and pull way. See how long, and that's the next thing too. Like you know, see how long you could carry using the one brush and the one technique before it starts to break the model. Then you switch over to like a different brush and you employ like a slightly different sculpt technique. And nothing wrong with starting slow. Take your time. If you think I'm moving quick, take your time. When you see a lot of people who sculpt pro, you know, sculpt out there and they look like they're going really fast, and it's because they just kind of built up a memory muscle, like where things are, how things should look. If they see, so they know how to look at an image and judge like the contours of a face or something like that, you know. And that takes a little time. Even if you're been doing it for years, you know, and it's your thing, that's what you do, you're a portrait artist or whatever, it still takes, you know, when you're getting back into the groove, it takes time to kind of, you know, to kind of find yourself in it. But each artist's approach to things will be very different, you know, especially in doing 3D, you know. No one way is perfect. Okay, so looking at her head, I think her head is not flared out, it's kind of more in. So I'm gonna try to replicate that a bit. I'll zoom out to get a wider area of the brush. I'm gonna come here in the middle, you know, give her head a little more roundness, a little more human-like vibe going on with it. Anywhere, like, as I rotate, if any part of her head or skull or scalp or whatever it is looks weird, I'm gonna just go in and just adjust to suit, you know, not sweat it too much, you know, because you could like come in here and you could really sweat the details, and you know, you could really miss a lot of you know, opportunities, you know, that keep, you know, to keep it rough and keep things manageable, rough and manageable. Okay, I'm just gonna try to blend in her thing here. All right, you see this right here? This head needs a lot of work. Eyes need work. Everything needs work. But what are we doing? We're just trying to bring things in to a point. All right. Now notice, no, her head is actually kind of posed kind of down. All right. And I think her face is not as long as shorter. So I'm gonna zoom out. And we're gonna try like this little face surgery here. Let's see if we can squish her face down. I think that's kind of working. Okay, yeah, let's make her forehead a little bit out, especially on the sides here, because she has the alien gray head thing going on. If nose is very big, in the picture it's a lot smaller and what they call cuter. So we're gonna try to simplify her nose in some form or fashion, make it look a little simpler. It's not, it's kinda, it's very broad at the, but then this part arcs. Now what I said earlier about Sol 3000, we're still gonna do development and show it on here. You know, show it for sure on here on Twitch. But I'm gonna probably try to do more of these things that I'm doing like right now, where you know we pick, you know, a topic, you know, whether it be sculpting, painting, or whatever it is, and we're gonna work on that for practice and to keep, you know, to keep things exciting and fun. You see, I'm just pushing and pulling, and even though some, as you get closer, you realize it's slightly low poly, it's all good. I have my model smiling. This one is not really smiling that much. Okay, the way how you get the eyes to actually be proper, let's go back into layout mode. You bring a different object in here. So let's just click that right there for the eye center. Let's go just make a sphere there. UV sphere, let's just scale it down to where the eye could be. Let's go with front view. Rotate. It's X 90. It's kind of like an eye thing going on. Now, when you're doing the eye, now you sculpt everything around it. If you want to know if the eye is in the proper place, just scale the eye, duplicate it, move it to the middle of the face like here, and you should be able to fit 3 eyes. You should be able to fit 3 eyes in here comfortably. And I think that might be it there. Let's do it. Okay, so I put the pivot point to that thing right there. Let's make this smooth. And I'm going to mirror this. Right, and now we can sculpt the eyes around this. The eyes is a little too forward. Grab. Just move it back a bit. Up to where you think the eye could look. Alright, so now you can kind of sculpt the eye around. You can sculpt the face, sorry, around how the eye is right here. Just give this a name, let's call it head. Let's go back into sculpting. So now you could do your thing with the eye. I'm gonna grab this whole side of the face. And grab us up here and kind of pull that back there a bit. Okay, so we don't have a side view of a face, and what you could do, you could look at a reference of another person's face to see the depth of how these different parts of a face fall. Scale this. Let's do that. Right. All we're using is just the one. We're using the same grab tool, guys. We haven't changed this really into any kind of other tool that could give us an edge. I like doing stuff like this because it helps you practice how to focus on shape rather than detail. That's kind of where you want to be at when we're focusing on the. You can just, you know, if you don't have your basic, nice, pleasant shapes down, doesn't matter how much detail you add. It's just not going to look good. This is where drawing comes into play. I'm not sure if this person is an actual actress. I think this is just a model. I don't know, like the newer actresses and actors that are out right now. We're going to keep things as low poly as possible until we get everything nice and squared away. And of course, as you see problems, you just go in and touch, like I'm touching up the top of your head there. As you see problems, you go in, you adjust, smooth, adjust, smooth. Just kind of keeping it going. Look at the shape of your head. Okay, so let's study this just a little bit. I think like a neck needs to be a lot skin. Remember we sculpted this from like an ugly kind of head guy sculpt from the last video that I did based upon what was in my head. Now we're using reference, right? And neck is too thick, right? So like if you want somebody to look younger, you give them like a slightly skinnier neck. Just go like that. And look at it, she has a very slim neck, right? I'm gonna come back here like so, grab her head and kind of give it a little divot. I don't know how your day was, but my day was a little bit weird, and you know, God is good too. Right, later we're going to come in with these different tools and actually try to get her head in order. Okay, let's do a remesh of this, and then we'll continue. She has like these almond eyes, so let's see if we could get that popping. So let's make the brush size a little bit smaller. You know how we do it, guys. We like to go with one brush size as long as we can until things break. So you got that arc here. Let's just zoom in. And I'm just focusing on nothing but that arc. Make a slightly bigger brush, bring this out. Yes, just make this a little smaller. At this point in time, I'm just literally trying to get the shape, and I really don't care about, you know, anything else right now. Like this, I'm just trying to get these shapes. You know, as you can see from here, it's all over the place. Alright, later we could go in with a brush and really adjust this, to be honest with you guys. But I'm trying to do as much as I can with this grab tool. Okay guys, so you see I'm just kind of spend a little time on the eyes there, not too much. We're going to take this step by step and kind of work and see what we could get out of this stuff. You know, I'm thinking like I want to head a lot more shapely. I hope whoever you are or wherever you are, you kind of actually, I hope what I'm doing here, you know, really motivates you and brings some level of enjoyment and satisfaction of, you know, working productively on something. Okay, so as you can see guys, we're gonna continue tweaking this until we get something kind of relatively close. Now I think, like, I'm watching it, I think her nose looks kind of turned on, but it could just be because she's looking down like that. Like this right here. So let's grab this right here. Widen. Something like so. I remember I actually watched there was a magazine, I think it's like a 3D magazine, where it showcased this I think it's like a German artist called Steven Stettelberg or something like that. I think him. And how he made a mod, he was making 3D models. I forgot what he was using at the time, but he was literally making some real pretty nice looking and realistic. I wouldn't call them real, like how you could get like photos, like you could scan people now. But at the time, he was getting some pretty nice results. He was getting some pretty nice results with just, you know, pulling points and box modeling. Well, I don't know if it was box modeling, but he was modeling characters point by point. Enjoy the modeling, guys. I'm going to continue tweaking. Yeah, so we've been using the grab brush to get this going. How's it going, guys? So I'm just gonna start softening right here. This is a grab brush. Literally I was talking to you guys and my mic was on mute. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to soften the edge here a bit by just holding shift. It's kind of a little bit, you know, we don't want to get too detailed, right? You just want to kind of keep things kind of still kind of rough. I mean, there's a lot that has to happen, right? But these kinds of models, when you're modeling like this kind of stuff, trying to get towards like a foot, like what she has here, like she has like a bump right here and she has like a fold, an ocular fold right there, like under her, right? So there's all this sort of stuff that we could do, but we need more resolution, right? And there's more pushing and pulling that could be had, that kind of thing. And that's what I like to do. I like to push. This is all just the grab tool we're using. Alright, what if we try to get that fold right there by pulling out? Let's just see if that'll work. I don't know if it'll work, but we gotta give things a shot, right? Let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay. See, it's gonna be a little tricky. So you can look. Alright, so let me show you guys something. The annotation tool in here is pretty sweet. So let's see if we could see if we get the annotation thing happening in here. I wonder if there's hold on. Yeah, right here. So I'm zooming into the eye there. The eyes, like, you could have a whole like tutorial on just eyes. So first of all, one thing, Blender camera view is kind of skewed. So you want to fix the camera view. So I'm just gonna come here, and I think I normally go like 60 to 70 millimeter. Let's try that. Let's try 60. Actually, no, so 70. Okay, you kind of want to flatten out the view a little bit. Okay, so I'll show you something with the annotation tool now. So you have the annotation tool. Okay, hold on here. Okay, there we go. So see how this here is like that? Oh man, let's go back. Grab the annotation tool here. Okay, so check this out. So if I just, with the annotation tool, alright, let's try to draw out like what this eye is doing. So what actually is supposed to happen here is that you know, it's supposed to be something like this is. Okay, so that's that there. So I'll put the stabilize stroke on. It's all good. Right, then we have this here. Something like that is going on with her, right? But then you have this fold here. Right, and it kind of fades into like that part there, and then this is a fold here. I'll draw the fold, and the eyebrows is, I'll draw the bottom of our eyebrows here, something like that, and the fold is something like this. Right, that's where that fold is happening right there. I don't like that stabilized stroke. Let's take that off. And I'm just going to give this a slightly different color. Let's go really bright like that. Yeah, so that kind of what has to happen. So let's go back to our grab brush. Let's make it smaller. Okay, let's bring this, start to bring these things down here a bit. And this part is supposed to be a little bit thinner. See, from the time we turn it, it doesn't respect the 3D view that much. I think you could tell it to snap to things, but you don't need to have that happening right now. So at least, you know, from the front view when we started, it gave us like a good idea of like what's going on here. Oops. Let's go scale. Scale the brush size. Okay, so now we gotta open the eye back up. As I said, like with the eye, you could like, you could just go to town. You could go to town on an eye. I don't feel like going to town on an eye right, like as of this moment, guys. But you know, just so that we lay things out, we're gonna get some things laid out here. As I said, you could go on and tweak everything to Kingdom Come. Let's see if we could turn the nose down a little bit. Let's zoom out. We could constantly look at this and stuff. There's some like angles that need to happen with the nose. Like you could go with a scrape. You could start using different tools and just try to get like the planes or the like where things turn off like around the nose and that kind of thing, like that. Stuff like that. Right, there's like a plane happening like right here, and then there's a plane that's happening right below here, and it's just like where the way how things run. And you can use this to get rid of like any weird bumps. And I'm using this scrape tool that comes with Blender. You can see like, and then you come in with your grab tool. You want to use very few tools when you're sculpting. You don't want to be jumping between like a whole bunch. Right, but especially when you're just warming up and trying to get accustomed to it, like me. Okay, it's a scrape. The tool. Just make sure rub the tool out so you can see it. And anywhere like as you go you see that needs fixing, you just go in there and you just do it. You push, you pull as you go. You know, and see what comes out on the other side, right? Right, then you watch like certain characteristics to do with this particular person and how their face, how the contours of their faces. Like she has like a thing that comes like a line that happens right here. Like she has a, you know, very prominent that kind of line. And she does have like a kind of pinch in her cheek there. I don't know why I called it a pinch, guys, but it's just something happening there. And you kind of try to replicate it as best as you could. And I just use the move tool to do that. Sorry, the grab tool to do that. Okay guys, so I feel like to bring the spot in here a bit, back of the head, which is not like overly crucial, the back of the head, but it's good to to make it look kind of nice if you can. Yeah, so this is not by any means the end of working on this. We could try to give it like a slight angle. Give it like a slight angle. Right, so now let's clear this this annotation. Annotation, yes, come. You can just clear it. Go back up to like our grab tool. I'm just gonna go file save. Alright, so now you could kind of play with your matcap. So if you go like studio here, I think you could play with like the lights of how, you know, you could play with lights and the lighting and that kind of thing. So let's just see if you do like that. Alright, how you see this little icon right here next to the light shading? You could come in here, and instead of using a matcap, you can use the studio lighting.
Here comes the vibes.
Yo, what's up, vibes? How you doing? What's up, vibes? I saw you earlier on here, vibes. See, X Nikki's laughing because Vibes is in the house. Yeah, not too bad, Vibes. You know, pretty challenging, but things are happening. I'm just we're just practicing how to, you know, we're practicing sculpting in Blender, and we're trying to get the likeness of you know, of this face here onto a sculpt. You should have seen the sculpt that we started from. It was terrible. It was a sculpt I did from imagination. Of course, when you have reference, you know, you could kind of like hone in on making things look better, of course. See, studio light. So I have the studio light right here. Edit studio light. Oh, here we go. There we go. So we could kind of try to replicate a little bit what the photograph has to see if we get the same kind of slightly same effect. I believe it might be something like that. Yeah. I like doing this kind of stuff. So the next thing I realized with doing this kind of stuff here in Blender, or just in general, is that you know, looking at the form and shape of things are kind of important, you know, before we get into details. Form and if you get the form and shape good, like the details are like 2 seconds. Okay, I'm kind of liking this, like how this is happening right here. So apparently there's like a bounce light or something, and that's this. Okay. This fill light is coming from the side. By no means, you know, you guys have to like do anything like this. It's just, I'm just fiddling around. Okay, that's enough playing around. See the studio light. I call it sculpt light. There you go. Save. Oh, look at that. We got our own studio light in here. To one side. And you could change that. I mean, there's a whole bunch in here. Plus we have the matcap, which is what we were using. Then we have this sculpt light in here, which is kind of slightly replicates this. It's not 100%. Okay, so I like to keep things looking rough and that kind of thing. So Is there a rotate in here? I'm not sure. Let's see if we can find a. I think there's a rotate in here. Let's see. I can remember there being a rotate. So there's a grab, there's pinch, thumb, nudge, rotate. There you go. Here it is. There's a rotate brush. I want to rotate her nose a little bit downward. So I'm gonna go to the side view here. Scale a little bit. I'm gonna select her nose and just kind of give a slight rotate down. You see that? So to me, this looks great. And you can start doing like a bunch of rotations. Notice how her eyes look kind of slanted. Maybe it's because she's looking down. But let's rotate her eye region to look kind of down. Look at that. Right there. Just a little bit. A little cat eyes now. But let's go back. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it just slightly. Let's go a little bit bigger. Like right here. Something like so. Yeah, a lot of people don't know Blender has things like that, and this is why keeping your model rough at the beginning, so you could get like, you know, there's little nuances happening. Now, would we be able to recreate this exact photorealism thing? I don't think so, but we could get pretty close. Okay. I'm gonna bring in a cheekbone, a jawline here a little bit. It's a little bit big. Something like so. We're using the grab tool again. That's all we've used for here. We didn't use any fancy brushes or anything like that. Just strict grab tool. That's how we got this happening. Okay, so this lighting is a little distracting for me, so I'm gonna go back into using the matte cap, the kind of ZBrush matte cap. So we could go between the studio light and the ZBrush matte cap. Okay, I'm gonna just give a slight angle. Let's grab this part here. Make it a little more down, a little more pointy. We still haven't broken out any fancy brushes as yet. And you know what? You don't. Technically, you don't need fancy brush. I mean, fancy brushes are good for like speed, I guess, if you're already accustomed to like how Blender sculpting behaves. Good to look at different views to kind of see like parts that might not work, and I'm just, you know, nudging, getting like curves and stuff, you know, lined up properly, at least in my mind's eye. And we just tweak as we go. Okay, there's a whole like plane going on here, so I'm gonna grab that scrape tool I'm just gonna try to see if I can mimic that back. Like there's a whole plane going on here from here to here. So I'll scrape. Let's try to see if we can get that going like so, like that. See that? I'm just gonna run a smooth on that. Just a little subtles. I mean, she doesn't have much of like a thing happening here. It's kind of pretty much all even. So this is one of the first set of tools I'll be using besides the move. Is a scrape tool. Right, when you jump in between very few tools. Right, because we're all trying to learn together here. Gonna try to get rid of that line that looks like it's right, because she's really young and she has a flawless face or something like that. Something of a flawless face. Alright, so there's still a lot of work to be done, and the more we do these kinds of models and stuff, we're gonna get better, right? This is our grab tool. Never underestimate the power of the grab tool. Okay, guys. So I think I'm pushing this tool to its limits. This tool is the grab tool. As far as being able to use it to sculpt the model, I think we have to move on to another tool to be able to add more detail and do more. Okay, let's remesh this real quick. Press R for remesh. Let's get a fine remesh size. Let's go ahead and remesh. Let's go Z wireframe, and that's what the remesh did. So that's solid. I'm gonna go into the smooth brush here, turn the strength down a bit, and we're gonna smooth some parts. Oh wait a minute, we gotta remesh it. We didn't remesh it. Oh, there you go. Now it's remeshed. See, now you could go in and like kinda fix some parts that are a little wonky. like around the nose here. Alright, so there's more work to be done on this lady here. Alright, we gotta work on the ear. You know, we have reference for ears, we have reference for eyes, we have reference for noses. We're gonna break out all those references. Just everything, you know, all those references besides this photo right here. Right? If you look at the overall face, so overall face has a certain kind of yeah, there's a plane to overall face. Let's just bring up the smooth there a bit. Alright, so this is you know, plenty smooth right here. This is like all very smooth, you know, and I'm looking here and you can see, well, I could see imperfections. Okay, and yeah, we can use things like pinch and all that sort of stuff. Look at this. This is a crease or this is pinch? Just get pinch. This is like a pinch. Pinch are like bringing, that, you know, bringing those edges to where they need to be. You know, make things really defined. Let's zoom out of here a bit. And what I'm doing, I'm moving the brush as I pinch. So I'm kind of pinching and pulling at the same time. See? You need like definite edges for things. The lip line, the water. Lip line, the eye water line. Things like that. Needs like proper pinching and all that. Let's go back. Zoom out here a bit. Let's finish this whole part here. Yeah, so like each tool, you know, there comes like a certain advantage to it. So like this right here, you could pinch that. Gonna stick with the, oops, yeah, and then there's a crease tool. Let's go back and use our grab tool. Let's just kind of bucket that out a bit. Yeah, so now we could like, you have more you know, more detail, you know, you have more things you could get into more detail about what should these things should look like and more and that kind of thing. You get more of a plane under there by using scrape again. Let's get the grab. Where's that pinch tool again? Let's run a pinch tool right here. And I'm just using my mouse, guys. Let's kind of diffuse that a little bit. Oh, that's too much. Diffuse that a little bit. Pinch tool here. Alright guys, so you see what we're doing here? We can start like sculpting in like hard planes of the face and that kind of thing. So we are I'm gonna call this, let's just pull this here. Pull that like that. I don't want to come in. Let's kind of smooth that out there a bit. Smooth this out here a bit. Okay. Alright, so there's like tons of work that has to be done on this. Tons. You know, the journey now start on this. Zoom out. Right, and see like I added certain details to kind of sharpen up the features a little bit. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's go to the side view, take a look. So the face, like when I'm doing the head, this is what I'm looking at. I think the skull and everything has to have a natural, especially for like a woman, you know, has to have a natural kind of slope and curve to it. So this right here is like, I'm looking at this right here, guys. Look at this. I'm looking at this shape right here. You know, that's the shape I'm looking at. And I think like a forehead and the eyes need to come forward a little bit because they look a little bit sloped. So I'm thinking maybe, you see like, oh, this is like this. I think maybe it needs to come out a little bit more. Not like that, but like kind of like that a little bit, like that. Right, I think this needs to come out more. The whole Like this whole part of her face right here, like this whole thing. Let's come out more. Let's try it. Either that or, well, you know, I mean, everybody has a natural kind of muzzle to them. So before we even go in and do all that sort of stuff, what we could do is to look at other, we could look at other images, like side profiles of some, you know, different females, because I don't know who this is. They may have a side profile, you know, like if we were doing like a famous person like Billie Eilish, right? If we were doing Billie Eilish right here, you know, we could probably find like a nice side view of what she looks like. And then too, like this image is probably not a good image to really model her face off of. We could get the shape of her lips and the eyes and all that, and the way her forehead and her nose looks. Everybody have a slightly different nose, but as far as like, and then she has like cheekbones right there, kind of highish. It's not sloped like this person's cheekbones, and different things like that. But I'm sure because she's a star, there's different famous. You can get other images of her. Hey guys, I'll see. Hold on there. We'll be right back. We'll continue with the modeling in a little bit. I'm gonna take a quick break, and we'll continue. We'll continue working on this stuff. Okay, guys. So yeah. So don't go anywhere. Okay, guys. I'll be right back. Go ahead and save this. Okay guys, I'll be right back, okay? Okay guys, I'm back. Okay, with this I'm gonna stop right here and we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue, God willing, if not tomorrow. Yeah, most likely sometime tomorrow we'll continue whatever it is. But yeah, this is a good you know, we don't want to overdo it. This is a good segue to stop and just kind of switch up gears. Okay guys, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. You know, thanks for hanging in there and exercise Nick out. You know, thanks for checking out the stream. God bless. Take it easy, everyone. I just want to shout out everyone that stopped by to say hello and who's following me. Hey, tell your friends, whatever it is, and we have tons of content on YouTube also, so you could go check that out, and also you could check out our Discord here on the Exercise Next Show. Exercise Force. Big up.